Christian now, and when God first gave me this message, I had some apprehension about it. The reason for that is the title of this message is called Man Up, and it's based on, it's kind of inspired by an album by 7 Christian rappers that made just about 7 songs or so, just talking about what it looks like to be a man. And so the reason for my apprehension is I wasn't really sure how y'all would receive it coming from me. So I was thinking, 21, still living with my parents, still in school, working part-time, almost minimum wage job, and where I might add, I've actually been mistaken as a woman a few times with my hair. They said it's facial hair, but anyway, so I wasn't sure how you would receive it, but God saw my apprehension. He answered me with, he just pointed to me this verse, for this passage. In Jeremiah 1, 6 and 9, God is calling Jeremiah to speak to the people, and at this time Jeremiah is about 20 to 25 years old. It says, "Then I said, O Lord God, behold, I do not know how to speak, for I am only a youth. But the Lord said to me, Do not say I am only a youth, for to all to whom I send you, you shall go, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you to deliver you, declares the Lord. Then the Lord put out his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said to me, Behold, I have put my word in your mouth." And I felt like God was just speaking directly to me through that. And I tell you that I want y'all to see the same thing I'm saying. Don't hear these words and see it coming from me. These are God's words. He has the microphone. I'm just the speaker. Right? And so, before I go on, I want to say that though this message is talking to men, it's not just for men. I don't want the ladies to just zone out or just blow this message off. I want you to look at this, look at what a man of God really is, and take that into consideration, whether it be in like dating life or if you're already married, or even with relatives. Look, like in the case of dating, look and see if that man is living according to God or not. And if he's not, then ask yourself whether you want him leading you, because Genesis makes, and the rest of the Bible makes it clear that God has put men in the position to lead the woman. And that's not anything on equality. We're going to touch on that in a little bit, but he has put us in that position. So if a man isn't following God, then he shouldn't be leading you. Alright? And so it's in the case of husband, encourage your husband to start living the way God created us to live. This isn't about living by rules or the way God is told us to live. This is how we were created to live. Alright? And so I want you all, I'm going to write a song for y'all that's called Man of Fact. It's from this album, and it just gets me pumped up. I don't want it to pump you up. I don't want you to go away feeling like, man, I gotta change my life, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I want you to be like, man, this is a time for change. This is a time for me to start living the way God created me to live. This is a time for me to grow up and start acting like a man. Alright? See, when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to grow up. I couldn't wait to be able to drive, be able to stay out late and do a lot more stuff than I could as a teenager. And I wanted that freedom. And we can have that same kind of freedom in Jesus. We don't have to live under the bondage of sin. We can live in the freedom of Jesus Christ. Alright? So that's why I wanted to get us pumped up with this song, alright? fake and tree leaf. See the EPC, and wasn't one to make it. Can't believe when we ain't like that. Bitch, you little boys, you muscles and a mustache. Femininity, we need to be a god, man. The sickness of the You got some questions? Got some answers. Sexy miles into the bottles, bag of bottles, use a right place, bomb cash, I see that man, jump in the coach show. We drunk off pride, lose some love from the hangover. I got a whole lot of stuff going around the game. Big city business and big chairs. I sit like a diva. We don't need to live stacked up. Keep up, man up. Feel bad at your house. It's time to make it now. I'm trying to show you a new way to live now. No charge, you call it freestyle. And now try to show where man is. Yeah. I just love this song. It just makes me so pumped up. And I think it's a lot of truth. I know short on time, so I just want to get right into this. I'm going to look at real things being man. He's like, then I'm going to look at what God says. Let's see what they tell us being a man looks like, right? They say, one, you got to have a lot of money, right? And it doesn't matter how you get that. You can start your own business, do the honest thing, and build from the ground up, right? Or, you can go a little shadier route, step on a few toes and fingers, climb a corporate ladder, do all that. Or forget the business world, just sling some rocks on the corner and you don't even got to pay taxes on that, just doesn't matter if you're hurting people, right? As long as you're getting money. And it's not enough just to have money, you got to spend it, you got to show that you have it. I'm not going to know if you got a large bank, you're not rolling up in bins with 30-inch rings, hopping out with new Jordans and cheap watch, And they just say, if you want it, buy it. Don't worry about whether you can have enough for it or where that money could go to, right? It doesn't matter helping other people, just worry about yourself, right? And the second thing is status. You gotta have a big image, and if someone disses you, someone tries to tear down that image, you gotta stick up for yourself, whether that's dissing them back or even getting violent on them, right? And to the point, in some cases, like killing them, right? And that's what we see in gangs and in the urban, neighborhoods. People trying to make a name for themselves and just killing people just to show that they're showing that people don't mess with you, right? Amen. And then the last thing is you gotta have a lot of sex, right? You don't worry about getting married or anything. Monogamy, that's more like a nutty, right? Just take a little girl, you know, club, and then she works her, toss her aside, and find a new one, right? See, that's what they tell us being a man looks like. So let's look at how that really stands up. See, on the point of money, when I was a kid, I would go to the toy store with my mom or dad, and I'd look at all the toys in there, and I'd point out to everything I wanted, and wanted them to buy me everything. Of course, they didn't. They were wise about that. And what they did was they put me on allowance. So I'd get $10 a week, and then I'd have to give $1 to the church, which at the time I didn't like at all, but I dealt with it. But, and so I'd have to save up for what I wanted. And I soon learned how credit works. See, I find a toy that say it's $18, and I only have $9, so I tell my mom, all right, can you throw me the money now, and then you can keep my allowance for next week? She would do that sometimes, but other times she'd be like, no, at this rate you're not going to have an allowance for the next 2 years. So, as I grew older, now, like, at the present time, see, I don't get an allowance, of course, but I get a paycheck. And if I still had that mindset, I'd walk into, like, the gaming store, electronics store, and I want to buy all the stuff on there, and I'd always be broke. I'd probably go in debt, like, get a credit card, and so I wouldn't have any money for food, for gas, or anything like that. And especially, I wouldn't want to give that 10% to God, which I do without my parents having to tell me now. And I wouldn't want to be generous with it. Like, there's a guy, I just started a new school and I was buying books. So I went to this bookstore and there was a guy there. I was wearing a DRuhl shirt. He's a rapper I listen to. And he noticed the shirt and started talking about it. And I asked him if he had listened to the album. He said, no, I didn't have enough money for it. And so I was like, oh, man. And so I left and I had to go back there to get another book. And so before I went, I just bought the CD at the store I work at. And I gave it to him some songs. And he was like, whoa, dude, he was so appreciative of it. I never met the guy, but, you know, I just felt like being generous, just giving him a gift, right? And see, if I was always worried about what I wanted, what all the things I wanted to get, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to pay for people's meals. I wouldn't want to be generous with my money like God is commanding me to do. And so, right now, image of the world man is just looking like a little boy in a toy store, right? So let's look at the next thing, status, right? See, again, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be that cool kid, I wanted to be popular, the kid that everyone liked, right? And when someone would make fun of me or do something to me, I've always been a small guy, so I couldn't really get in fights, but I got this anger in my heart, and like, I would either think of the stuff that I wanted to do, or I'm not even spread rumors about it. So, and I know it was wrong now, but that's how I was as a kid. But then, now, like, or even in high school, as I grew older, I started realizing I'm kind of weird. I'm not a popular kid, and so I started to accept that. And so, one time in class, it was right after lunch, we had a break period, and so I like to joke, and so in the back of class, I was just joking with some principals. In senior class, they was always messing with people, just trying to put them down and stuff. He comes up to me, and I'm not going to say what he said, but it's not that bad, but he basically insinuated that I was gay, and keep in mind I was playing with 10 girls, so you can throw me points there, but instead of like getting mad and throwing things on his face or coming back with an insult of my own, I just like laughed at it and laughed with him and just like kind of agreed with it. I'm not gay, but I was just like showing him I don't care what you think about me, I don't care what you say. And he had this look on his face like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And he just kind of walked away. He didn't really mess with me anymore. And I wasn't angry at him. I never got an opportunity to help him out, but if I had, I'm sure I would have, because I wasn't mad at him. I didn't have that anger in my heart against him. I wasn't trying to pay him back for what he said. So, let's look at sex, because right now I'm just seeing a little boy as far as the world standards. When it comes to sex, I don't really have anything like when I was a kid, but I will admit, when I was a teenager, I was addicted to pornography, and up until I was about 19 or 20, I was looking at that on a regular basis, and like God's racing, living from that heat, renewed my mind, and I don't deal with that anymore. And at that time, see, this idea of having sex when you're too, man, what this does to teenage boys growing up, they're coming up with testosterone, they're trying to be treated like a man, they're trying to be treated like a kid, and trying to get independent. And so what they're doing is they see, oh, I have to have sex to be a man. So they start sleeping with girls and maybe getting pregnant, and which leads to either abortions or kids growing up without fathers. And this also does to us, like with the guys that aren't so good with girls, me included. We saw that craving, so that's why we turn to porn. And this doesn't cross our image of beauty. It corrupts this image of beauty, and we set this huge standard of beauty that most women can't meet. And so what that does is they start feeling inadequate about themselves. They start feeling like they need to be skinnier, so they develop eating disorders, or they need to look a certain way, so they start getting surgeries. And it just corrupts our entire society, right? And one of my favorite parts on one of the songs on this album is he goes, stop running around with women like a little dog at heat. If she disrespect herself, show her who she's supposed to be. She's a queen. The scripture says she is the weaker vessel. It's more like fine shine. It doesn't mean she's doing lesser. I just love that because women are queens. When God created Adam and Eve, he made men as kings over creation, and he made women as queens. They're co-heirs in the grace of Christ. And by treating them as objects that or toys that we can play with and then toss aside on the board and find a new one, that corrupts that image of a queen. We don't see a queen, we just see an object now. And so that's so far from what God created us to live on. So we look at what the world says being a man looks like, and to me, I'm just seeing a little boy or even a little dog and heat, right? So let's look at what God says being a man looks like, all right? And I looked all over the Bible. I found like 3 pages worth of scriptures that I had on here, but I know I'm kind of short on time, and I figured I would be, so I just came up with a summary of all these verses of what a man looks like according to the Bible. And I just want to leave that with a couple verses. 1 Corinthians 13:11, which just goes so well with this sermon, or what I was just speaking about. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. And then 2 Timothy 2:22 goes right off of that. It says, so flee youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. Alright. So, the summary of what a man is, it's not someone who's just stacking up money or has a big image and big ego and pride and all that. And it's not someone who's just having sex with a bunch of women. A man takes care of his family, his wife, his kids, and his relatives. He treats his wife with love and respect and submits to her and loves her just as Christ loves the church. And that means even to the point of death, because Christ loves the church so much that he died for her, right? He leads his wife and children towards righteousness. A man treats others with respect, love, mercy, tenderheartedness, humility, meekness. He loves his neighbor as himself, and even to the point of death, right? We're supposed to love people just as Christ loves us. And it says in Romans that Christ died for us while we were still his enemies. He loved us so much that he died for us while we were against him. And most of us won't even die for our friends, much less our enemies, right? That's what God called us to live like. He forgives others just as God in Christ forgave us. He pursues righteousness, godliness, faith, love, steadfastness, and gentleness. A man rejoices in his work and works heartily as for the Lord and not for man. He shows integrity in his work. Psalms 1:1-2 says, "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He prays without ceasing and loves the Lord with all his heart, soul, strength, and mind." That's what being a man looks like. And I want to say that, I want to finish this by saying that even though that's what manning God looks like, that's not what manning up is. Because manning up isn't living by a standard, living by some rules, or managing your temptation, or managing your sin. That's not manning up. Because we can always try harder. We can do better. We can hold on longer. All right? That's not what being a man is. Manning up is laying down all of our effort and all of our strength and all of our trying and saying, I trust in Jesus because he's the only one that can get me through this. I trust in his perfection, his resurrection, and his power because he's the only one that can get me through, get me free, right? He's the only one that can help me live like this, right? If we just try to live like the Bible says being a man looks like, if we try to live by that standard on our own, we're going to fail. We're not going to live up to that. Well, the only way we can live like this is by laying down the effort to and trusting in Christ, giving our lives up to Christ, that he can give us a renewed mind, a renewed spirit, and a renewed body, and make us looking more like him. Because he created us in his image, and that means living like he wants us to live. And when we do that, when we give ourselves up to him, we'll start living like this. We'll start living like he wants us to live. And that'll bring us closer to how we were created to live. Because this isn't about, like I said, it's not about living by some standards or anything like that. It's not living like God wants us to live. It's not a want us to live. This is what we're created to live like. Alright? And I just want to finish this by saying, if you haven't accepted Christ in your heart, if you aren't living the way he wants you to, and you want to make that decision today, you want to man up today, I encourage you to stand up right now, or even raise your hand. And can I have a volunteer come over to him? Someone? No, I'll do it. I'm just going to put the mic down right now. Good. That's so awesome. If anybody else wants to talk to me, we shouldn't be ashamed about our faith. We shouldn't be ashamed to come to Jesus. If anybody else wants to talk to me afterwards, feel free. I'll be back there serving drinks. You can just talk to me. I can show you all the scriptures. I have them printed out, but I just didn't have time to go through them all. And I'd love to talk to you about that more. All right. I just thank you for the opportunity to come up here. I hope you all have a great Easter. And I just want to say I love all of you, and that's why I come up here to speak to you.